Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, The Top Percentile. My name is Vidhan, and today we've got one amazing topper of CET 2021 with us, Ankita Agrawal, who happens to be a CA as well. So, mad respect. And she's done a graduation in commerce. So, this is a video for all those people, commerce graduates, who fear the engineers out there. So, watch it till the very end so that you understand why Ankita did her MBA right after graduation in commerce and after a CA and how she ultimately cracked CET and got into JBIMS. So, firstly, Ankita, thank you so much for being with us. And firstly, congratulations for you to get into JBIMS and completing your internship recently with PwC. So, what was your first reaction when you first saw the result? You completed your internship, and again, what was the reason for you to do an MBA right after your CA?
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations to you as well for making it till JB, and thank you so much for having me here. So my first reaction was that the exams were very delayed, as you all might know, and the results were also like quite delayed.
Correct.
So there was not a specific date on which the result would come. Every other day there was like the rumors were spread, like the result had come, had come. But then, like when I saw the result, like it was very amazing because I repeated the CET. Last year I scored 99.90 and this year I scored 99.97. So like last year I just missed JB by just a single mark. So like it was quite overwhelming for me at the moment. Like I could not believe my eyes what was happening. I was like on the cloud nine that I converted JB finally after all my efforts paid off.
Amazing. And what was the reason for you to do MBA after CA?
Yeah. So after my CA, like I joined JSW Energy for a while. I worked there with close to 2 years, but then I realized to like my networking skills are not like very good. Like CA gives a platform to develop the networking skills and to build a network, but not quite very well. Also, the communication skills, the ability to think from all the other perspectives apart from finance is what made me choose to do an MBA after my CA.
I'm sure you will be honing those skills quite well in MBA during, and even during your internship, you would have honed your skills. That's amazing.
Yeah, yes.
So my next question is, when did you start your CET specific preparation, and were there any other exams that you are prepared for?
Yeah, so first of all, CT was not my aim. I appeared for CAT, but like I did not score quite well. I scored around 88, 89 percentile. I converted some of the baby IIMs, but like I chose to be different. Like I wanted to go into some premium institution.
Mhm.
So that's why I like thought to give a CT, give CT a try. So I appeared last year, but I did not quite prepare well. But then too, I scored just 1 mark less. So then I thought that CET was my game because my co-curriculars were not up to the mark. So IIM ABC was not like it was out of reach. I felt so. So that's why I like thought to give CET one more try. So I prepared very hard for 2 3 months, but then CET exams were not happening, so motivation was quite low. But then like I took a small break and I kept on preparing for like exams used to happen in March, but in my case it happened around 15 16 September. So it was quite delayed and motivation was low, but then I kept on preparing. So if you ask me how many months or how many years did you prepare, so I do not have a definite answer to that, but it's just that like whenever I did not used to prepare, still then I used to like practice some speed maths or some basic grammar questions so that like I do not lose touch and I am in touch with the subjects as well as like I am able to crack it whenever the exams are announced.
So that's what's happening right now as well, because the CET
Correct,
exams
correct.
have been delayed to the end of August right now, that too tentatively. So guys, if you want to stay in touch with the exams, if you feel you're getting bored, then you can stay in touch by just doing speed math ke thode questions, or you can just stay in touch by looking at some grammar rules. So that would help you with your confidence as well, and you won't just lose the touch. So my next question is along the same lines. How did you prepare? I mean, how many mocks did you give during this time, and what were your scores like initially and towards the end?
So initially I used to score around 120 plus, but then like I felt that 120 plus is not enough to crack JB. So then I analyzed my mocks quite well, and I analyzed specifically those areas in which I'm losing more marks, like some syllogism question which are very silly. So I used to do some silly mistakes in syllogism or some silly calculation mistakes. So I tried to improve on that. And then I used I was scoring around 150 plus in some of the mocks. And the number of mocks which I gave, so my initial plan was around 30-40 mocks. My studies were basically done, all the basics were done, all other concepts were quite clear. So I used to practice it. I used to study from mocks itself. So that was my strategy. But since the exams were delayed, so all around I gave around 60 plus mocks before the
That's
exam.
really good. Yeah, and I used to score 120 towards the end, and you've been scoring it right from the start. That's amazing. And had you enrolled for multiple classes or just one class for the mocks?
Yeah, I enrolled for multiple classes. ELC was my first priority. After that, test funda, and then I also enrolled for IMS.
Amazing. So, guys, she had enrolled for Test Funda, and even we are providing you with Test Funda के mocks. So, if you want to, you can get in touch with us for the mocks. Okay, so the next question is a very important question. What was the first thing in your mind when you saw the change in pattern? Everything was jumbled, and what was the strategy for it?
So mine was slot 3. So the first day people were already the rumors were spread, and some other channels like you also announced that the paper was coming jumbled up. So on that day, पूरा ऐसे दिमाग हिल गया था कि what to do. I have developed such strategies. I have developed so much, I have taken so much efforts, and now it was all it was looking कि सब पूरा waste हो जाएगा. But then building the calm inside ourselves is the key to crack the CET, because we cannot we were not sure that हमें भी jumbled up आने वाला है या it would be repeating the pattern or not, because the exams were quite uncertain at that time. And in my papers, questions were out of syllabus as well. The integration, differentiation, calculus questions also came. Abstract reasoning was it was not actually abstract reasoning which came into exam. But then pehle hi I decided that I would not lose my calm in the midst of the paper. So इसलिए since already decided था, तो इतना ज़्यादा कुछ झटका नहीं लगा. It was all okay. But also I just devised one strategy that जो भी पहले question आ रहा है, solve it then and there. And do not leave it for end, because फिर कुछ भी track नहीं होने वाला, because there is no separate sections as such. So I used to mark it for review if I thought that I would come back to it later and I could solve it with some more time. Then I used to mark it for review. Otherwise, कुछ भी मार के आगे बढ़ो. So that was my strategy.
So, guys, this is a strategy which is used by each and every topper I've talked to. You don't go for separate quants या DI, LR, ये सब sections when the paper is jumbled. Just look at the question. If you think you can solve it in a minute or so, solve it then and there. And if you feel you can do it later, just mark for review. There's no other alternative to this. And also, Ankita, did you attempt those calculus questions?
No, I did not, because I did it in my 11th, 12th. So it was very long time and I did not remember how to solve it. So I just marked it and I went ahead.
Correct. So many aspirants were thinking that because they got calculus questions, they were not able to crack CET. But you have an example over here. She got calculus questions, but you shouldn't lose your calm. You should be composed, and you should know that 4-5 questions say the scores won't be decided. So you can just leave them and move on to the next easier questions. Don't get depressed कि क्या आ गया कैसे आ गया. There would be just a few questions which would be out of syllabus जो अचानक से आ गया. That would be just to test how are you able to behave during that time, and if you're able to take some rational decisions. So maybe I think it was that because of that those questions were there in the exam just to test you. So Ankita, what was the strategy for quants and DI normally if the paper had been normal?
Yeah, so for quants and DI, I'm not that good with quants. That's why I used to practice speed maths regularly. But then in DI, I think that anyone can score. It's just common sense and some logic and some shortcuts. So I used to practice DI regularly, very regularly. I used to practice 2-3 sets per day. So my strategy was I used to devote around 35 to 40 minutes to quants. So first of all, I used to solve all the DI sets which were solvable, which were very easy or medium level. And then I used to move towards quants. So in quants also, there were some 20-25 questions of which I was able to solve 10 to 15 very easily. And then मेरे level के नहीं होते थे. So I just used to mark any option and move ahead.
Perfect. So 35 to 40 minutes for quants.
Yeah.
Correct. And what was your strategy for LR?
Yeah, so I was quite good with LR. So out of 75, I used to score around 60, 65. So my strategy was to solve all the easy questions first. Like apart from puzzles, all the questions were quite manageable.
Traditional.
So in yeah, like syllogisms, etc. So in around 25 to 30 minutes, I tried to attempt all the questions apart from the puzzles, and then I used to move forward with the puzzles. That also, like if I'm stuck with a puzzle with around 5 minutes and I could not reach ahead, then I used to let go of that puzzle. Like there is no point wasting your time in the puzzle which you couldn't solve. Like at the end of the day, it's all the marks that you gather. It all matters.
Correct. And you used to give around how many minutes for LR?
To around 60 minutes.
60
So
minutes.
25 to 30 minutes for apart from puzzles and 25 to 30 minutes to puzzles.
Correct. Okay, 60 minutes is perfect for LR, guys. Even I tell you all this, 60 minutes exactly for LR. Perfect. Your strategy for VARC and abstract?
For abstract, like it was quite easy. Like the ones which I practiced were quite easy, but in the exam it was all like reversed. So for abstract, I used to devote around 15 minutes for 25 questions, and I used to score around 18 to 20, sometimes 22 marks. And for VA, like I was good with VA. So apart from RC, all other questions were manageable, the grammar, the para building and all that questions. So for that, I used to devote around 20 minutes. And for RC, I used to devote only 15 minutes because all RC's recipe cannot be done. So all the easy RC's, like I used to skim through the para, and JoJo questions were answerable. I used to answer it like if a para has 6, 7 questions. So around 3 to 4 were easily manageable. Apart from that, it required much like more time and more reading. So I used to leave that question because in the end, like as I said, the marks you gather is all that matters.
Correct. Amazing strategy. Yeah. So for my next question, you told me that you had been working with JSW before you had joined JBIMS. So how was it to prepare with JSW? Could you find time for CET preparation? And if yes, how much time you used to devote to CET preparation?
Yeah, so initially it was quite tough because I used to like travel, and Mumbai travels are quite hectic. But then my organization supported me, my bosses, my managers, like they supported me quite well. So I used to reach office early and I used to leave from there early. And with the job, I used to take around 1.5 to 2 hours per day for my CET and CAT preparation.
So guys, if you all are working, you have to find around 1.5, 2 hours a day to prepare well. Kitna bhi hectic ho, you have to find some time, either make friends with your colleagues or your bosses so that they allow you to leave early or come in late. So yeah, my next question is, what did you do to motivate yourself? And is there any message for all the aspirants who look up to you for inspiration?
Yeah, so for motivation, like you have to find it in yourself. If you have like if you're very passionate about joining JB, you will join JB. Like it requires some efforts, it will require some very passionate effort from your side. Like come what may, you have to prepare and you out to prepare in order to crack JB, because the life here is quite amazing. Like you will thank yourself later that if you sacrifice chota sa parts from your life and devoted towards studies or devoted towards your mocks or even analysis, then you would like really convert JP. It is not that tough. I also initially found it very tough because since I lost just by 1 mark, so like just I was like, oh, why did not I convert? Like what was in that just 1 mark that I could not convert? But then very passionate efforts made it so. So for inspiration, like you should watch some videos of JB, you should watch some videos of Mumbai, what all is happening at JB, what is life at JB. These like the top percentile channel, like frequently they focus on life at JB. So you should watch those channels if you do not find the inner motivation. And then you should like watch some videos of the toppers. What do they do differently that you are not able to do? You should attempt as many mocks as possible and analyze them thoroughly. Then JB is not far.
Amazing. So you require that passion for JBIMS, and if you have that passion, you're willing to put in some time for that. Definitely, you're getting into JBIMS, and as you heard from Ankita, the life here is amazing. Both the students are over here, and both of them are telling you all that it's absolutely amazing. The companies you get into, the money you get paid, of course, and the network that you build, it's really amazing. So Ankita, one last question would be: any plans for the next 2 years?
for next 2 years, like I would be graduating from JB in 2023, and my aim is to get into an FMCG company in some finance, like in the sales finance or like finance roles, just finance roles. So I'm not looking to go into any core finance roles, but like I'm looking towards FMCG sector as my very best, and then towards consulting sector.
Perfect. That's amazing, Ankita. Thank you so much for being with us and inspiring our aspirants who would be watching this video right now. And
Thank
I'll
you
be
so much,
also.
Vedant.
Thank you.